koutou katoa, ko Kedsley, toka wingama whānau, ko Boyd O. Good morning. I'm here for Peter Ryan. He's not available to be here this morning to present to you the organisation's performance results forecasts as at the 31st of October 2023. These particular forecasts represent year 3 of the long-term plan 21-31. In summary, the forecast results for the delivery of community levels of service remain generally stable at 82.2% delivery. For capital project delivery, the key projects are on forecast to meet at 92%, while the delivery of non-key projects shows a small decline to 78%, generally due to changes in the numbers of projects that are currently being reported. For the capital program planning, this is planning for future years of the capital program. The forecasts are showing improvement across both sets and trending towards delivery for year end. Across the financial targets for operational budgets, there is a small surplus after carry forward, whilst the delivery of the overall capital program to the approved budget remains stable from the September forecast. More information for both of these, both the operational and capital program, can come in the reports that are to follow. In regards to the the community level of service delivery, you've got the list of exceptions for showing as your attachment A. The current forecast at 82.2 does show very similar to the pre-audit annual report result for the last financial year. The main reason for this is that the implementation of recommendations that were proposed with the year-end performance report, which asked that we continue with reporting exceptions not met the previous financial year as amber until such time as evidence is provided that the results have or will be met. An example of this would be our resident survey satisfaction measures, of which there are a number in here. They are ones that were not met for year end, but they continue to be shown as exceptions until such time as we receive the next set of resident survey results, which will be approximately April or May next year. So it's just from a word of caution. It follows the Audit and Risk Management Committee recommendations, and that's how they're being applied. There are other measures in there which will be familiar to you. They are consistent with previous months, and often they are following that same advice from ARMC. So I'll pause there and through the chair if there are any particular questions, noting that if there are specific questions about operational levels of service, I may need to either defer to the head of service here or take away an action item to come back to you with an answer.
Great, thank you very much, Boyd, for that. Appreciate you stepping in at the last minute too. Sarah.
Thanks. Yeah, mine is kind of specific, so it's on water. So I don't know if
ask away.
Someone's keen to do that. It's on a couple of things here. The average usage per day is still higher than the target, and it looks here, supporting initiatives around reducing water consumption as our remedial action. Do we think that the change in the level that people are allowed for the excess water has had an impact or will have an impact on us being able to achieve the target?
Okay. Brent, would you like to answer?
Through you, Mr. Chair. It's yet to be seen what happens this summer. It'll be dependent on whether last year's good habits continue and the effect of whether we're going to get a really hot summer. So we'll just have to monitor it.
Yeah, thanks. And the second one actually is about that really hot summer coming. So since last week when we had the Three Waters report, I've been doing some more work, the stuff that's happening in Wellington at the moment, and the expectations that they have around the hot, dry conditions, meaning that the land dries out and you get a lot more pipes opening up that had been just sort of minorly cracked, those kind of things, and the amount of gearing up they're having to do for summer with that expected additional leaks. And I'm wondering what planning we've got in place so that we're proactive rather than reactive for gearing up for the expected additional leaks and things we're likely to get over summer.
It's a bit of chicken and egg, that sort of question, because as you say, the unexpected leaks, we don't know when they're going to happen. We had a massive blowout on the corner of Garlands and Opawa Road last night.
Yes, we did.
We don't know when they're going to come, but part of our normal planning is we're continuing with all of our CCTV work. We have our grade 4 and 5 pipes that we're actively working on to repair, so that's the best that we can do. We know the areas of town that and the types of pipes and the condition of them that we're keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, it's just that we know that when we had that the last really hot, dry summer, sort of maybe 3-4 years ago, where we had fires and bits and pieces, that actually our water leaks were up, and there was a whole pile of work and complaints that we got a long way behind on our leak repairs, and we had to put in a whole pile of extra funding to try and catch up. And I'm just wondering whether there's evidence that shows that we should actually be gearing up a little bit more early rather than just waiting till things happen.
At this stage, no, but I'll take your comments on board and take it back to our planning team.
That'd be great, thanks.
Anyone else? Great. Yanni?
I just had to restart the computer, so I've lost the place. But I was just interested in the footpath assessment, if we've got any sort of time frame for that new tool being done with the university and HEB.
Might be a Lynette question.
The AI tool's being used at the moment to undertake assessments, so it's out working with one of our contractors right at the moment.
Right.
Just underway.
So when will we know, like, when will we have, like, the city assessed in terms of the footpath conditions?
My understanding is we're planning to have it completed over the next 12 months.
Right. Okay. And then there was just another question I had around the road maintenance. There's just comment there that we're, in terms of prioritisation, we don't have sufficient budget. So I'm just flicking through. So I'll just get to it. But there was sorry, I can't find the so it's basically on page 29. So the budget for this is the remedial action budget for resale progress calculated approximately 15% pre-sale work expectation. Given that we now require increased levels of pre-sale repairs to affect quality resurfacing, there's a budget funding shortfall to complete the selected 141 of carriageway required resurfacing. And then it says the contractor has selected the year's program based on visual observations of roads in worse condition, with roads unfunded due to budget shortfall being pushed as highest priority. Are we able just to get a sense of, like, how much the budget shortfall is and whether we can put additional budget on now to get that work continuing rather than push it out?
Feel free to come back to us too.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to come back on that, and it's definitely part of the LTP conversations and calculations.
Okay, great. Oh, Sarah? Yep.
Yeah, sorry, another one for Lynette there on the perception that Christchurch is a walking friendly city, and the commentary you've got down there on the 29. It's the bottom one on 29. On the use of private development agreements and LTP funding to deliver a range of walking infrastructure to support new residential growth areas. And I'm just wondering if we have an idea of the extent of those kind of new footpaths, maybe the length that's going to be required, what might come through the developments themselves in a relatively short time frame, and what would be better for us to proactively put in place. You can't. I mean, it'll be one of those. You not off the top of your head clearly, but if you're able to come back to us and maybe the.
But I think it's also it's more of a question for the subdivisions team, so I'll have to get it from them.
Great.
Yeah,
so
no, that's
Lynette
fine.
will come back to us.
Yeah,
On that.
maybe a quantum that might be.
Okay, so I'm keen to move this on. So Phil's moved it.
Right.
Mark's happy to second it. Great. Any discussion? All in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you very much, Boyd.
Sure.
Great. Russell, do you want to talk us through the financial report?